So today I am opting out to use my camera because I'm having some microphone stand issues on my other setup. So today I'm actually in my recording booth, so you will not see my face except for right here. And yes, I am shirtless, and yes, I normally do record audio when I'm shirtless, so just get used to it. So enjoy the video. Have you ever played that TMNT game from 2007? You know, the one where it's loosely based on the movie of the same name? No? Well, I did. Now you don't have to because it wasn't really that great. There is a lot that could have been done to improve this game massively. This game came out during a time where they were pumping out movie tie-in games like I pump out poops during my workday. Almost every movie got a video game tie-in at the time, and needless to say, this was definitely a quick cash grab.
Shut up and take my money!
But what if I took the time to actually reimagine what the TMNT game should have looked like if they actually took the time to make this game from kind of bad to kind of great? This reimagining isn't a, what if they made this game today scenario. It's more of a, what if they made the game in 2007 this way type of reimagining. So, the TMNT from 2007, what can I say positively about this game? It was short and it wasn't really that hard to beat. And that's about it. So let's move on to the negatives. This game has two types of gameplay, fighting and platforming. And that pretty much sums up TMNT from 2007. And I didn't die very often except every time I fell to my death a million times because when you would try to jump over small ledges in the platforming sections, the game would think that I wanted to do a wall run, and occasionally I would literally just run right over the little ledge that I'm trying to climb on and just completely fall to my death. You would literally run off the wall into a big pit or whatever. And this happened quite often. The jump and the wall run button were the same buttons, and on PlayStation, if you press the X button for a long jump, sometimes if you're too close to a wall, the game would automatically do a wall run. To fix this, what they could have done is eliminate the long jump altogether and just do the holding the X button should have just been a wall run. If you tap it, you can just jump. It won't connect to a wall. That would have been a perfect way to actually fix this, and it would have saved you a lot of annoying deaths. The camera angles, I think, were the worst, and the controls weren't too bad except for obviously that wall run long jump situation that I had just explained. But it did take me until the very end of the game to realize that holding the square button would get you to use that team up move with one of the other turtles to do that devastating attack on an enemy. Now, to fix the camera angles, they could have just simply put the camera behind the character that you're playing and unlocked the camera rotation, so that way you can just use both analog sticks, because the right analog stick is just there hanging out. You don't use it at all. So they could have implemented it. The game is split up into 16 different levels, and depending on how well you do these levels by collecting these stupid coins that don't matter, getting a decent time, and using teamwork, you can earn these shells to spend them on goodies. These goodies are just extra content, like weird little cheats that just implement just some sort of a, not really a gameplay change, but just like a cosmetic change, very weird. And you can also buy these stupid little video clips and artwork that, again, don't really do anything. And I do think the time limit has something to do with unlocking the challenge maps, which I didn't really take the time to do, honestly. And that pretty much sums up the game in its current state, and I even went over how they could improve the mechanics. Next, I want to go over the actual gameplay and how I would make this game in 2007. So there was just so much more that they could have done to make this game a better experience. So I watched the movie while eating Cheez-Its with my son, and I broke it down completely and was able to come up with 15 levels that could fall right in line with the movie, and I think it would make it a better experience all around. So sit back, relax, grab a cold one, and take a ride through our imagination, or my imagination more like, as we reimagine 2007's TMNT video game. So the first level, which I would call Nightwatch over New York City, will act as a tutorial level with all 4 of the turtles, showing their different special moves and how you can switch between them, as well as the team combo. Ooh, that was gross. As well as the team combo, which actually a lot of that will just keep the same as the actual game. Now, to train with all of your moves, you are tasked with fighting the foot soldiers and the shredder as a final boss. The difficulty here will be minimal because the turtles already have defeated the shredder, and this is just a training level. I will say that in the actual game, I did think that it was kind of weird how you are a solo turtle, but everyone talks to you like they're right next to you when you can't even see them. You can switch between the turtles by hitting the square button, which I think in my version, you can use the left and right directional pad to switch between the turtles, and the up and down directional pad for switching between everyone else. There will be some sections in my version where you will get to play as Casey Jones, April O'Neil, and even Splinter, and that's what the up and down would be for. I think that would be interesting. Now to a different topic. While some stuff is happening in the game, the narrator will be explaining what is happening just like in the movie. The narrator, just in the beginning of this, will basically tell you the button layout and everything else. He will only be in this level though. And like I said in the intro, the camera will be directly behind you, and you can actually use the right analog stick to move the camera like most modern games now. And most of the buttons will be the same as the actual games, just minus those additional that I mentioned, like the directional pads and whatnot. And much like other Ninja Turtle games, each turtle or character will be on the screen, and they will be acting as like just your partner, like the computer basically will be controlling them as well, just like previous Turtle games. Or I guess I should say future Turtle games, because this game came out in 2007, and the Mutants in Manhattan came out in like 2014 or something. I can't remember when exactly it came out, but it came out a lot later. Anyways, that's the way this game would be like. All 4 turtles or all your teammates. Unless you're a solo in this game, your teammates will all be on the screen together just to add better continuity. And also, after each level, depending on how well you do during this level, you can still earn those shells to unlock goodies, extra media, and the challenge maps. That's something that I'm not really going to change, not really going to get into that. This is more of a story standpoint of the different levels of what you actually can do. So. After completing the tutorial level 1, level 2, Ghost of the Jungle is where things are going to start to kick off. There will not be narrator no more because that time has passed, but you are solo as Leonardo, and you have to protect the village from the bandits as the Ghost of the Jungle, using all of the movesets that you learned in the training, but you're unable to switch between the characters because this one will be a solo level. Once you take out a certain number of bandits and protect the people, the game plays a little cutscene, and then you take control of April O'Neil in this next section. She is tasked with going through the jungle to look for Leonardo. And April can fight. She's actually pretty awesome at it, but this mission is not exactly that combat heavy, but there will be a couple moments where you have to defend yourself from bandits just to make things a little bit interesting. Okay, so for level 3, the entertainment business, in a cutscene, April is telling Leo what everyone is up to, and it cuts to Michelangelo. And for this one, you are tasked in a more of a humorous and different objective. So you will take control of Michelangelo in the Cowabunga Carl vehicle for the first time solo, and this is a driving mission. And your objective here is to drive to multiple destinations in a certain time limit to reach each party. Your goal is to reach each party in a specific time limit, all while avoiding hitting pedestrians and other obstacles. This one is bright and fun, and the controls for the driving will be on the screen when you actually play this level. But this one will not be a fighting section at all. You're going to remain in the vehicle. For level 4 Nightwatcher, which it happens right after you complete level 3, there will be a really quick cutscene. The scene in the movie will say, alright, let's hear it. What's Raph doing? And nobody knows. And then it's going to cut to basically a more dark and gritty. And after the short cutscene, you take control of Nightwatcher. And of course, he's Raphael, but you take control of him solo, and the game puts you in a semi-open world New York City where you can patrol the city, and the objective is for you to stop 3 street crimes while listening to the police scanner to find these crimes. This one is a mixture of fighting and driving because you can drive Nightwatcher's motorcycle, and you can enter it and exit it as you please when these crimes arise. You can even use your bike in some combat to make it a little bit more interesting. The controls will also be on your screen for this one. For level 5 sewer surfing, you are Michelangelo solo again after a short cutscene plays, and you simply have to skateboard home. This is almost like a Tony Hawk cloned section where the fighting buttons have changed to trick buttons, and the better tricks you give, the higher your shells will receive at the end of this level. It's pretty self-explanatory, but also very different. I think it would be pretty interesting. For level 6, Destructible Casey, of course there will be another cutscene, and you can actually take control of Casey Jones after that cutscene is done. And the objective for this one is that you have to get to the docks before the time runs out and meet up with April in a delivery truck. And this is another driving section, and you just have to simply avoid obstacles so that you will get the most possible shells at the end. Now once you arrive, the game immediately cuts to you following April and taking valuable merchandise up to Winter's office. The more stuff you break, the less shells you will get at the end. Simple as that. So I mean, this one's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. I just thought something like this would be pretty different in a TMNT game. After another cutscene for level 7, Raphael Unleashed, you again are Nightwatcher solo, and you have to do similar stuff as before, but there will be different crimes this time, and you have to this time stop 5 crimes instead of 3. For level 8, Leo's arrival, in the cutscene, you see that Leonardo is arriving back to New York City, and much like the sewer slider level, this time you are on a glider, and you have to reach home with the tricks rather than fighting moves. And again, the better tricks you do, the more shells you will earn at the end. And after you are complete with the gliding section, you will actually glide into the water, and now you're in a swimming section of this level. Then you have to swim to the sewers, and once you enter the sewers, you just simply have to make it home. There isn't really any fighting. In this one, you're just traveling, basically. For level 9, Rooftop Reunion, you take control of all 4 of the turtles, and you can switch between them like in the training level. And for the first task, you just simply have to get to the rooftop. This section is all platforming. After a little cutscene plays, you have to rush where the noise came from as all 4 of the turtles, and once you arrive, another short cutscene plays, and you have to fight foot ninja soldiers as well as a giant monster as if he was a boss fight. A lot of different dialogue plays during the gameplay as if it came straight out of the movie. There is a limited number of foot ninjas that you have to defeat, so once you beat all of them, you have to beat the monster as if it is a boss fight. For level 10, Rooftop Pursuit, of course, more cutscenes play, and you take control of Raphael with Casey Jones, and you can switch between the 2 of them. Casey has some different movesets than Raphael, but that's what makes it fun. You simply have to follow the monster as if it was some sort of a tailing level, and to make things a little bit more interesting, this monster will toss down little other like rock monsters to fight during this pursuit, but of course the pursuit itself will pause until the little monsters are dealt with, just to make it a little more interesting and give you a nice opportunity to actually fight as Casey if you wish. After the pursuit is over, another little cutscene plays, and you take control of Casey by himself, tasked with trying to get Raph to safety after he was hit with the tranquilizing dart. This is slightly different than what's in the movie because you will be fleeing, and there will be moments where foot ninjas appear and you have to fight them off as Casey. Just like before, this is also a pretty good opportunity to play as Casey Jones, and this will be very different than most Ninja Turtle games because I don't think you've ever played as Casey in previous games or games after. But once the Foot Ninja are defeated, you have to carry Raph like the missions in Uncharted, where you have to carry someone while running from destruction or fending off enemies. There will be a moment where you shake your pursuers and you have to take Raph to April's apartment. Level 10 seemed to be a little bit long, but for level 11, Brotherhood Fractured, it starts with you taking control of Nightwatcher answering a police scanner call of a panic button activated at a diner. Once you arrive, you have to fight off this little monster as if it was just a small boss fight, and once that boss fight is over, you have to run from Leonardo, who is pursuing Nightwatcher. At the time, obviously, he doesn't know it's Raphael. When he catches you, there will be a little cutscene that plays, and after that, you have to choose which one you can be between Raphael or Leonardo. The outcome will always be the same no matter who you choose. It's just that you can play as two different characters, Raphael or Leo. Raphael and Leonardo will fight as a boss fight. So this boss fight will actually be separated into two different sections, so to speak. So the first fight will be between Raphael as Nightwatcher and Leo, and the second wave, quote unquote, is the Nightwatcher with his helmet off versus Leonardo, because obviously that's when Leo knocks his helmet off. There will be a little cutscene in between to divide the two fights, and whoever you choose in the beginning is who you stay as. No matter who you choose, as I said earlier, the outcome will always stay the same, but it will be in different perspectives. Again, I felt like this would be just a completely different direction for the game. I think it would be a really cool direction. In level 12, Infiltration, you will take control of 3 turtles, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, and April and Splinter. Splinter has slightly different movesets as well, and the first task is that you have to sneak into Winter's compound, building, estate, whatever you call it. As far as the story goes, this is going to just follow the movie. Basically, Leonardo was captured, and that's why he's absent from this mission or level. As the cutscene would explain, Leo has actually been captured and your team has to get him back. This is a sneaking section, but there will be a moment where your cover will be blown and you have to fight your way to find Leo. And there will be a lot of Foot Ninja soldiers that you have to find. Now, when your cover is blown, because this will basically be like the second task, I guess, Casey Jones will actually join the fight and you'll be able to fight as him as well if you choose to switch to him. Before, Casey Jones was actually the guy that was distracting. But once your cover's blown, he's like, screw it, and he decides to help. So, yeah. For level 13, Bait the Beast, you take control of Casey Jones and April O'Neil in that Cowabunga Carl van, and you have to lead the monster back to Winters' office in a timed level. And this one is pretty self-explanatory, also another driving section. Level 14, Stone General Showdown, is the final boss fight, where you take control of all 4 of the turtles with Splinter, and you have to fight and defeat all the Stone Generals. There will be 4 of them, so this will be a 4-person boss fight to finish up the game and conclude everything in a final cutscene. To add a lot of replayability to the game, for level 15, Return to the Streets, this will be the last level of this game. And you will basically be in an endless level where you take control of all 4 of the turtles and an endless free roam around the city to complete 100% of the game. This will be kind of reminiscent of the end of Spider-Man 2 based on the movie with Tobey Maguire. You have a certain number of crimes you have to stop, and you can go back and replay the levels if you've missed any collectibles like those stupid coins, or if you want to collect more of the shells to unlock more goodies. And FYI, solving crimes actually gives you more shells, so this might actually not give you a good reason to go back at all. You might not have a reason to go back, to be honest. And maybe there can even be like a new timed mode unlocked for each level or something, something that will basically want you to go back and complete. And that's just about it. And like I said, this was a pretty interesting video to make, and if you feel like I might have missed something or something I could have added to this reimagining, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more reimaginings like this, Also, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you liked this video, definitely give it a big like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, if you would like. And as always, I won't see you, but you will see me, or at least hear my voice, in the next video. Bye. You ready, on?
Yep.
Looks a little bored. All right, dig deep. Nope, shoot. Getting them all falling out there. All right, ready? And go! You're just gonna be all bored. All right, so you pick this one out. See what it is. It's a little hard to come out. Okay, so this one is Gun on Steam. Yeah, whatever it is. Okay, Gun on Steam. It's yeah, this is a game. I remember this one. It is. I played it on PS2 back in the day. It is a game that is like Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption came out. So, yeah. All right.
Mama.
Yeah. All right. Say bye.
Bye.